This program is brought to you by the Genesis Communications Network, a world leader in talk radio since 1998. Visit GCNlive.com today.
Broadcasting and streaming live all across America. This is Home Talk USA with Michael King, where we will discuss topics pertaining to your home with industry-leading experts. Michael King is a licensed general contractor with more than 30 years of experience in home improvements and the author of Contracting with the King. Join us this hour for our segment Invent America with your co-host, the inventor lady, Rita Crompton. Discover what's next in the home improvement industry and explore new products and innovations. Or if you have that next great big idea, learn what it takes to bring your invention to the world as Michael King and Rita Crompton talk to America's inventors and innovators. Remember, the America of tomorrow is being invented today. We invite you to visit us at HomeTalkUSA.com, one of the best resources for home improvement information around today. Your best life begins with your best home, and there's no place like Home Talk. That's HomeTalkUSA.com. And now, we proudly present Invent America from the #1 home improvement radio program in the country, Home Talk USA, with your host, the Cajun Contractor, Michael King, and his co-host, the inventor lady, Rita Crompton.
Welcome, America. I want to welcome all of my Home Talk USA radio listeners. That's now switching to hour number 2, the Invent America part of the Home Talk USA family, where we talk to inventors and entrepreneurs. And for those of you that's switching over to this show, we want to thank SureCan, and we want to thank Paintworks, two great startup companies that's really are really making a difference in our lives. And we want to thank Greg Worley with Paintworks and Brad Artikirk with SureCan. And we're going to try to get them on the Invent America show. And they got some great information to provide to us also. But it's all about education, information. And right now I'd like to welcome my sidekick, the inventor lady herself, Miss Rita Crompton. Rita, how you been doing this week?
Just fine, and I love being your sidekick. You're awesome.
Well, a lot going on. We're starting to get, all these great inventors. We're talking to them and sharing their stories, and some of these stories are really amazing. And so what this segment of Invent America is going to be about this week?
Well, this one is going to be about helping inventors understand it's more than just the patent. And, we always used to laugh and say, the inventor's original business plan was have idea, get patent, make money. And so when I get inventors early on that say, it's just so expensive to get a patent, then, okay, we need to put some parameters around that for our inventors on what is real and what is crazy.
Yeah.
And so that's what we're doing today. It's not about just getting the patent and you're going to make money, but there's a lot of times when I get an inventor, it's like, well, I've spent, I had $50,000 to do all this and I spent it all on the patent. It's like, well, for goodness sakes, find a different attorney. And right. So, I've run into that several times, but, for the inventors that are on today, it's about, okay, the hard work started after the patent issued.
Yeah. Well, I remember 3 weeks ago we did a show, a topic on the product itself, and the person was already finished, ready to put the product on the market, and then all of a sudden they were hit with a $5 million product liability policy that they needed. And it kind of reminded me, because the last hour, Mr. Brad Artikirk with SureCan, he's the one that developed that gasoline camp that's easy to, disperse gasoline and petrol products. But the point I'm making is the government agencies that's involved in that, OSHA and the EPA and the California this. I mean, so it kind of reminded me of that show we did about 3 weeks ago that thank God he was aware of all this, because that can really, really stop a young inventor, because they didn't get all that information, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's crazy how, all of a sudden, and one of the inventors I was talking to this morning, and he said, so what's next? And I said, well, it's really finding out whether or not the consumer, getting the product to a shelf, all right, is the consumer willing to pay that much difference for your product because they've got something that's much less expensive right there. And it may not do the job quite as well as yours is doing it, but if there's a big price difference, they're going to say, no, you know what? I'm going to take the easy road and the less expensive road because that improvement is not enough. Well, only the inventor with some, good dose of reality, can make the right business decisions. But if they don't know, Michael, what the questions are, they don't come up with the right answers.
Well, tell us about our guest today.
All right. So our first guest today is Pam Fibgus. I have known her for a long, long time. She is the inventor of the Hang 'em Straight flagpole. And the decorator flags, you miss part of the decoration because they're hanging at an angle. Well, for her, her invention, the Hang 'em Straight means they hang down straight. I love it. I use them at the hardware show all the time. And the funny part is that her father built the first prototype for her because she kept complaining about her flags always hanging crazy. But I'm going to let her tell about that and how they came up with it because she was actually holding them together with ponytail ties. So, those first prototypes, we talk about duct tape, cardboard, Legos, whatever you got handy. And she had ponytail ties. So anyway, Pam is our first guest. She does have products, so they are in the marketplace, and people can go and find them. They're really easy to use, and they're great because it's wonderful to see those beautiful designs that you paid so much money for.
Yeah. And you said you have Ron Matson, too?
Ron Matson is going to be on. He invented the trenching shovel, and it's called the Blue Viper Trenching Shovel. I've known Ron for quite a while as well. He is manufacturing, and both of them have, experiences on how difficult the marketing part is, how difficult the manufacturing is to move then the product. And, like they said, the patent was the easy part.
Wow. Well, you sound like you got a big show planned for us. Any breaking news that we need to know about? Anything else happening?
Well, we've got trade shows coming up, and we are getting excited about getting some new things for our show, our big show that comes up at the National Hardware Show. And I am working to get a guest on that is actually then representing the National Hardware Show. So we've got an expert to talk to about these, different shows that are coming up. How do you pick a great trade show? And for some inventors, it's like, no, don't go to that one. Go to this one over here. But again, understanding the risks, the reward of all the different options out there is really critical for our inventors. So we are going to do our absolute best to bring them good reality check information. And then the fun stuff, being able to, how do you pick a name? And I can say, do it like this. And they go, oh, that sounds like a good time. So we're going to talk about how do you name a product so that people can find it.
Wow.
And do it the right way. So we got a lot of really fun topics coming up.
Now, let me do this now. Now, we're going to, at the top of the hour, our last segment, we're also going to be giving information that if you have a product and you want to get it on the show and the process also, right?
That's right. If you go to inventorlady.com, it's right there on the page. It says, would you like to be a guest? And you fill out the form, and within just a few seconds of hitting the submit button, it drops into my email box.
Wow. All right, well, dance some music. We're going to come back. You're listening to the Invent America show of the Home Talk USA family right here on the Home Improvement Broadcasting Network, streaming live on the World Wide Web. We're going to take a short break, and we're going to be right back. Yay, with our first guest.
to Home Talk USA with Michael King. Do you have questions about your next home improvement project or home repairs? Now you can chat with verified home repair and home improvement experts in just minutes. Get the help you need by visiting HomeTalkUSA.com. One of the best resources for home improvement information around today. Your best life begins with your best home, and there's no place like Home Talk. That's HomeTalkUSA.com. And now, back to Invent America from the #1 home improvement radio program in the country. Home Talk USA with your host, the Cajun Contractor, Michael King, and his co-host, the Inventor Lady, Rita Crompton.
All right, welcome back to the only radio show dedicated to you, the American consumer. This is the Invent America show, part of the Home Talk USA radio family, where we talk to inventors, entrepreneurs, and manufacturers of products, and that can really change your life. So it's all about education and information, right, Rita?
That's right. It certainly is.
All right, who's our guest, Rita?
Our guest is Ron Matson. He is the inventor of the Blue Viper trenching shovel. And, you know, it's the classic story. Ron was a machinist in Wisconsin. He needed to dig a trench for a line he was going to put down and couldn't find the proper tools. He goes, I can invent one of these. Right, Ron?
That is correct.
All right. Tell everybody about the Blue Viper.
All right. Well, it kind of started, like Rita says, putting in an electric line for my hot tub building. And I made a real big mess of my yard, my lawn, using a regular spade. So I thought, well, this is no good. Next time I'm going to have a different tool. So I started drawing up some pictures of what it should be, and Blue Viper was born.
There you go.
And it worked. Yeah, it works out fine. Yeah.
It works great, and it makes perfect sense. And the thing is that, you know, nobody says, "Oh, I want one of these, you know, things in my lineup." It's not until you're absolutely desperate for it, and you go, "Why doesn't anybody have one of these out there?" Well, now there is. Blue Viper trenching shovel. So, how hard has the marketing selling been over the last few years?
I would say marketing was more difficult than the actual patenting process. I do have an American U.S. patent for the shovel, and I've sold well over 1,000 shovels so far. And I do have a retailer, Lehman's Hardware in Ohio, and a manufacturer in Pine City, Minnesota. But I've got another deal pending with Ace Hardware. So if we get them, that'll be big time. But marketing is difficult.
So what advice can you give our listeners about the money spent on the patent versus marketing? As far as, you know, I get so many inventors that will say, it's like, well, I can't afford the patent. It's like, well, if you can't afford the patent, you're certainly not going to be able to afford the marketing.
Yeah, no, I used LegalZoom for the patenting process to get underway, and I think they saved me about $3,000 or $4,000. My total cost for patent was about $8,000, which I hear it's all the way up to $15,000 or maybe more nowadays. But LegalZoom did me well.
But they did just the first part of it. You used a registered patent attorney for the second part.
Absolutely.
For the filing of the non-provisional or the utility, which is what we always recommend, is that you use a registered patent attorney. So that was good.
I did, but that was through LegalZoom, and then I ended up, of course, at U.S. Patent and Trade Office, for the granting of the patent. But
right,
yeah.
So, what advice can you share with our listeners about, you know, how to plan that budgeting? Because, you know, when I get an inventor that comes to me and they say, oh, you know, I've spent all my money, but now I've got to market this. How do you budget? How do you look at, say, all right, I need to stretch this over a longer series of steps?
Boy, I don't know what to say to you there, Rita. I really don't. I know one thing, that you have helped me with good advice, and I appreciate that, through the Inventors Roundtable. And it was, I've learned some things there at the Vegas hardware show, so much appreciation there. But no matter what you do, it is a difficult thing to get it marketed.
Yeah, that tends to be the challenge. Is it's not that old idea of well, I have an idea, you just file a patent. There's got to be more to the plan, because too many inventors that I talk to get caught at that point of saying, all right, now what? Because marketing is a big deal.
It is, and you need to get the right contacts, and that's where you come into play as well. You know a lot of people, Rita, and that got me started.
It's going to a show where you can go and meet a lot of other people there that are in the business. You get the feedback, and you start making the contacts so that you can go then to store owners and being able to get the product posted there. It's really tough to just invent something and then expect people to know it's there. So the marketing part of the story that you tell is a lot different than the selling part of it. But those are two big things that people don't just know it's there. It's not like they've got a crystal ball and say, "Oh, let's call Ron." You have to tell them it's there.
Yeah, another good tool is the use of Google. If you Googled Blue Viper shovel, it would come up there with videos of the shovel and how it's used and pricing. So Google has also been a good tool to give you information on what is out there now and what changes could be made or who to shop from. Things like that.
I know, because I did go and Google Blue Viper trenching shovel, and it showed all the different stores. So there might be one local to you. It showed how you can, find the information on, I think you were on Facebook, so people would be able to go and order one from you. And we will certainly be doing some video and posting it out there so that people can find you easily. And if they are anywhere in America, that they would be able to get their own Blue Viper trenching shovel.
That is correct.
All right, Ron, thank you so much again. What is it? Website again, Rita? It's Blue Viper Shovel.
Ron, you want to give that? You can find it on Inventor Lady.
I got you.
When you go into the products, and it'll click right onto it and take you to where you need to go to find your Blue Viper trenching shovel.
All right, Ron Matson, thank you for being our guest and sharing that information with us. Really good.
My pleasure. Right. Thank you.
All right, Rita, we got to take a short. Okay, we have to take a short break, Rita. We got to pay some bills, man. We got to keep that show there.
That's right. Off we go.
I think we're going to come back with Michael Miller is going to be our guest. He's our product expert, right?
Yes, he is.
All right, we're going to take a short break. We'll be right back. You're listening to the Invent America Show, part of the Home Talk USA family. I'm the Cajun man from the Bayou Land, the originator, not the duplicator. Please don't accept no substitution with the ventilator itself. Rita Crompton. Ooh, I was talking fast.
Yes, you were. Have some more chocolate.
Have some more chocolate. Yeah, have some more coffee, caffeine, but we're going to be right back. Yay!